My wife Gina Carano actually told me she always wanted to get a double penetration by two very handsome men, and I asked her, do you have anything against porn stars or becoming a porn star, and she said honestly no, not really, I'm kind of like you about it, and we have already become very famous as martial artists. You're even being considered for the UFC Hall of Fame for beating everyone in the middleweight division, and you've been defending your championship title for nearly 10 years now, and I'm undefeated too thanks to you training me, and I am getting very sexually aroused lately. Every time I'm around you I want to have sex with you, and I often fantasize about getting a DP from another man and you, so I actually want to do it. And then I said, well, I do know Adam 22 and I've been playing pro football for the Dallas Cowboys for 10 years, and then after a little bit I had my first ever fight with Mike Tyson, and he took me very seriously, so he trained like a madman, and old Mike Tyson came back just fight me, and I didn't say anything disrespectful to him, but he disrespected me and I allowed it. And during the fight against Mike Tyson I didn't even really have to carry him much, but I did win on the scorecards. I scored over 2,000 punches and Mike Tyson scored only 500 punches, and I enjoyed fighting him, and I said, I want to learn what you know, Mike Tyson, and I want you to train me. After that Mike Tyson took me under his wing and I became his protege, his student, and then after 2 more years in boxing and MMA I was inducted into the UFC Middleweight Hall of Fame for being unbeatable in the middleweight division, and I also got a lot of big payday fights thanks to all my fights with celebrity boxers. And then one day Francis Ngannou challenged me to a fight and I bulked up to heavyweight and I fought Francis Ngannou, and since I was also a big guy like him he didn't stand much of a chance, so I decided to knock him out in the 3rd round of our fight. After threw him to the ground I punched him 1 time and I knocked him out with a punch to the jaw and he went limp and I stopped immediately. And then after that I fought Khabib and Conor McGregor in the same night and I beat them too, and I even won another 2 UFC weight class championships. I won the UFC heavyweight division championship and I also won the UFC welterweight championship, and I became very famous after that. And then Dana White said, you need to surrender one of those championships, champ, and I said, sure Dana White, but I'm keeping my belt and I'm also retiring effective immediately. And he asked me what I thought you were going to continue working here, and I said I am going to do boxing for a little while. I will see you around. Dana White, please put in a good word for me at the WBO, and he said I will put in a good word for you to the people in professional boxing. And for the next 2 years I beat every famous boxer in every weight class and I became a legendary fighter, and after that me my wife finally decided to become adult stars, if you know what I mean, and Adam 22 managed to find me and my wife another handsome muscular white guy, and when we finally gave me and my wife the DP position we gave her a massive orgasm. And after I started getting involved in porn I started getting paid a lot of money, and I get many offers from other OnlyFans models and other female porn stars to have sex with me on screen, and some of those female porn stars were also known directors and they also offered to pay me handsomely, and one woman in particular caught my interest, Goddess Haley, and then I said I want her. Adam 22 set it up and he said great choice man, and my wife told me that she will let me have sex with other women as long as she gets to have sex with me afterwards or even during the adult film, and I agreed to everything and I had sex with Goddess Haley, and it was so good that Goddess Haley fell in love with me and she decided to come find me at my home, and she rang the doorbell and I asked her, what are you doing here, Haley? And she said, I couldn't help myself after I had sex with you like that. I can't stop thinking about you. I've never been with a man like you before. You're beautiful and handsome. Please let me be with you, she said, and I said I will have to ask my wife. And then my wife Gina spoke behind me and she said, I will allow it because I love you, John. And then Haley smiled big, and then I started having sex with Haley and Gina every day, and after my wife Gina got a DP so many times she didn't care who I had sex with as a porn star anymore, and I often had sex with Haley every day and I loved her too, until one day she begged me to come inside her and get her pregnant, and then that's what I did. So I ended up in a polygamous marriage with 2 women, my first wife Gina Carano and my second wife Haley and me, and my wife always trained every day and Haley worked out in our gym every day, but she didn't like MMA.